So we've still got more Premier League action this weekend, and starting off is a fixture that is actually more surprising than it should be. Normally, when Tottenham take on Leicester City, it's supposed to be, a fixture of two different tales, one chasing the top four, chasing the title, and another one battling to stay alive or something like that. But it will surprise us to realize that both sides have just 10 points between them at this stage of the season. Just 10 points between them. Literally 3 games and one draw separates Tottenham and Leicester City. And one of these sides is in a relegation battle. So that says a lot about Tottenham as well. If Leicester City are in a relegation battle, it says a lot. But Victor, this is a straightforward question here. If a shock defeat happens and Leicester beats Spurs, could this be the final straw for Postecoglu?
Would it really be that big of a shock anymore if
Not
Vardy
really.
popped one or two in?
Not really.
To answer your question, though, yes, I think as much as I like the guy and I like his handling of the media and his charisma, but I think he will get the sack if they lose against Leicester. Yes, he's dealt a bad hand with injuries. I admit that, but at the same time, he seems unwilling or unable to adapt as well.
Fair enough. Yeah, and just to add to what you said, I think the biggest disappointment for me when I watch Tottenham is how you can't keep on doing the same thing and you expect different results. If you know that your players do not have the strength to play out from the back, then just change your ideology or something. You see them making mistakes week in, week out, and then you are still doing the same thing. Then teams start to
Yeah.
notice that these guys are not so good on the ball at the back. Once you apply a little bit of pressure, they will crack and will score them. So and the fact that Postecoglou is adamant that it won't change, I think
Yeah.
that's shocking for me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's his downfall. I feel like you could try to put Romero's t-shirt on Dragushin, but the contents will be the same.
exactly, exactly. That's just it. But yeah, moving forward, this one's for you, Max. A tricky fixture is on the cards when Aston Villa take on West Ham. Now, Aston Villa lost in midweek, so they'll be eager to get back to winning ways. Do you think this would be like an easy one for Villa or maybe something that could end up as a rubber skin?
Yeah, actually, I don't think that this loss will affect them a lot. So they still trigger mostly for the top four, I guess, and they're already at the playoffs of UCL. So they might refresh and then come to their own crowd and take a win against West Ham, because the West Ham is also not playing pretty good. So yeah, it has to be not easy, but a regular win for Aston Villa.
All right. So speaking about a side that has been rather unstable, the best side to best describe that is Manchester United. I mean, they drew against Liverpool, they knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup, and then they go on to lose to Brighton. You just don't know what to get with Manchester United this season. They've been one of the yo-yo sides in the Premier League so far. Or do you think they can get a result against Fulham, Victor?
Probably not, since it's an away day, especially. Craven Cottage is not an easy place to go and play. I think a draw seems likely here, but stranger things have happened. Since you asked if they can get a result, then I think yes, because at the moment, a draw at Craven Cottage for United would be a great result.
Wow. How the mighty has fallen. So, and yeah, moving forward, just so that we don't neglect some of the other interesting sides in the Premier League, Palace take on Brentford. I think when you look at games like that, they are actually very difficult to predict. Like, you can't exactly point to one side and say this side will take all 3 points. But yeah, Victor, give us a bit of your insight. Who do you think might come out on top?
Palace. I think Brentford are good. They're really good. A proper, solid Prem team. But there's just something about the way Palace are playing that makes me think they can beat them. If you look at some stats a bit, Palace since the October international break, Palace have lost 3 games in the Prem. That's it, and that was mid-October. And the first one was right after the break. It was against Forest. And now they have their main players, Mateta and Eze, they're in great form. Seeing how it's also at home, I think Palace will end up winning this one.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think I can agree with that as well. Anyways, let's move on to score predictions. Tottenham, Leicester City, Victor.
2-1 Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham. Okay. Aston Villa, West Ham, Max.
Yeah, I'd say 1-0 Aston Villa.
1-0 Aston Villa. Fair. Then Fulham, Manchester United, Victor.
1-1.
And also Palace, Brentford.
3-1 Palace.
Wow, that's a bold one. Even with Mbuemo and Wissa, that will not be good for FPL.
I initially was thinking 3-0, but I'm hoping Mbumo scores because I still have him in my FPL team.
Exactly the point. I have him as well. So yeah, except he gives the penalty and he scores it himself. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that seems solid as well. 3-1. That could as well happen based on how they are playing. So yeah, that's all we have in the Premier League this weekend. It promises to be exciting. It promises to be good. And it also promises to be better when we come next week to discuss all the best bits and previews ahead of the next round of action.